Today, we'll talk about atmosphere hygiene. We'll cover characteristics of atmosphere and hygienic significance, and also sources and types of air pollution, and the effects of air pollution, and major air pollutants that affect human health. Characteristics of atmosphere and hygienic significance include the vertical stratification of the atmosphere, and the atmosphere composition, and the physical properties of the atmosphere and its health significance. The vertical stratification of the atmosphere basically divides the atmosphere into several layers. On the bottom, we have the troposphere, which is the most relevant to us. The temperature is lower with increased height, and we have vertical air convection in this zone. And we also have weather changes here. The next one is stratosphere. The characteristics are horizontal air movement, and in this zone there is almost no water vapor, and it has meteorological phenomena, and this zone is also good for high altitude flight. It has thickness about 20 kilometers around the ozone layer, and this ozone layer can absorb shortwave UV light. The next one is mesosphere. This zone, the temperature decreases with height increase. And then we enter into thermosphere, where the temperature increases with increasing altitude. And in this zone, the gas molecules are ionized. And then we enter into exosphere, or outer space. We have also seen this slide before, where different layers of the atmosphere have different properties. For example, pressure, density, temperature, and the speed of sound varies from layer to layer. And the composition of the atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, about 78%, followed by oxygen, about 21%. The remaining is mostly carbon dioxide. Next, we'll talk about the physical properties of the atmosphere and its health significance. First, we'll be talking about solar radiation. We get our energy from the sun, and some of the energy are reflected by atmosphere, and some are reflected by clouds, and some are reflected from Earth's surface. About 50% of the energy is absorbed by land and oceans, and some are absorbed by clouds, and some are absorbed by atmosphere. The energy absorbed by land and oceans can also be released into the atmosphere. This is the spectrum of the sun's solar radiation. It's divided into three parts: UV light, visible light, and infrared. This diagram shows the wavelength of different materials. On the left, we have extremely low frequency, like the electric cable here. And then we have very low frequency, like the computer. And then we enter into radio waves, such as cell phone and microwaves. I don't know if you have ever noticed, but if you're using a microwave, basically you cannot use a cell phone or your Wi-Fi well. This is because their wavelength overlaps with each other, so they interfere with each other. Then we enter into infrared and visible light and UV light radiation, followed by X-rays and gamma rays. Basically, this is very short wavelengths with very high frequency and high energy. This line here divides the radiation into non-ionizing radiation and ionizing radiation.